In just 18 months, Anthropic's Claude has done something nobody saw coming. It's become the dominant paid AI assistant, even though ChatGPT invented the entire category and had a 2-year head start. TechCrunch just reported that Claude is actually winning the subscription wars, stealing paying customers away from OpenAI's ChatGPT in a market that's now worth billions of dollars. Here's the twist that'll blow your mind. This happened almost completely under the radar. While everyone was obsessing over ChatGPT's features and new models, Claude quietly built something users actually preferred to use every single day. And for the first time, we've got data showing it's working. The paid subscription market for AI assistants has become the battleground for dominance in 2026. OpenAI thought they had won. They had 3 years of brand recognition, a massive user base, and household name status. But Anthropic played a smarter game. They focused obsessively on what paying customers actually needed: better reasoning, more reliable answers, and a level of honesty that feels refreshingly human, not corporate. They didn't try to be everywhere. They built something exceptional for the people willing to pay for it. This is your daily AI headline. And this one's a game changer. It shows us that in the AI race, first mover advantage doesn't guarantee victory. It's about building something so good that people vote with their wallets. And right now, they are voting for Claude. It's easy to forget now, but ChatGPT didn't always dominate the AI market. Back in late 2022, when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, it was genuinely revolutionary. No other company had released a large language model that could talk to regular people in plain English. Within 2 months, it hit 1 million users, the fastest adopted consumer product in history at the time. OpenAI turned ChatGPT into a religion. They had the media attention, the brand recognition, and the narrative control. Everyone called OpenAI the leader. Investment poured in. By early 2024, ChatGPT subscribers were paying $20 a month for the premium tier, and OpenAI was making hundreds of millions annually. The company had won, or so they thought. Meanwhile, Anthropic was building in the shadows. Founded by former OpenAI researchers in 2021. They took a radically different approach. Instead of racing for headlines, they obsessed over building AI that was safer, more honest, and more reliable for actual work. They launched Claude slowly, methodically updating it in the background, listening to user feedback instead of chasing viral moments. By mid-2025, something unexpected was happening. Users who'd paid for ChatGPT began asking themselves a question: why am I paying for this when Claude does what I need better? The conversations shifted. Reddit posts, tech forums, startup communities, everyone started mentioning Claude as the better tool. The mood changed quietly, but it changed dramatically. So why is Claude actually beating ChatGPT? The answer is deceptively simple. Anthropic built the thing that users actually want to use every day, and they built it honestly. First, Claude's reasoning capabilities are genuinely better. When you ask Claude a complex question, it thinks through the problem step by step. It shows you its work. With ChatGPT, you sometimes get the right answer but no idea how it got there. For professionals, researchers, engineers, students doing serious work, this transparency is invaluable. You trust Claude because it explains itself. ChatGPT feels like a magic box that occasionally lies. Second, Claude is phenomenally good at long context. ChatGPT's context window lets you feed it maybe 100,000 words. Claude's window, 200,000 words, and that was before the latest update. For lawyers analyzing contracts, researchers reading papers, developers working with massive codebases, this is life-changing. You can upload an entire project and ask questions about it without chunking it into pieces. Third, and this is crucial, Claude feels honest in a way ChatGPT doesn't. When ChatGPT doesn't know something, it sometimes hallucinates. It makes up confident-sounding answers. Claude says "I'm not sure" and actually means it. It's less impressive in the moment, but far more valuable over time. Because you learn to trust it. Trust is worth paying for. In a world where AI assistants are becoming essential business tools, reliability beats flashiness every single time. Let me give you concrete examples. Say you're a freelance writer and you need to rewrite 50,000 words of content. You feed it into Claude all at once, boom, it processes the entire thing in context, understanding the tone, the style, the arc of your entire piece. With ChatGPT, you'd have to break it into chunks, process each one separately, and hope they all come out sounding like the same person wrote them. Claude does it seamlessly. Or you're a software engineer debugging a really tricky problem. You paste your entire codebase into Claude, 10,000 lines of code. Claude understands the whole system, spots the subtle bug you missed, and explains exactly why it's breaking. ChatGPT would need the code explained in pieces and would probably miss the architectural issue. Here's another one, legal document analysis. A lawyer uploads a 50-page contract to Claude and asks questions about it. What are the termination clauses? What's my liability exposure? Claude reads the whole document once, understands the context, and gives answers that actually make sense. With ChatGPT, you're feeding it portions and hoping you didn't miss anything. These are the kind of workflows where Claude shines. It's not flashy. There's no viral moment. But for paid professionals doing real work, the people who actually make purchasing decisions, Claude is simply the better choice. And that's why the subscription numbers are shifting. People are voting with their wallets. Let's talk numbers, because that's what the market cares about. In early 2026, Claude had roughly 30% of the paid AI assistant market. That might not sound like a lot, but remember, 3 years ago, OpenAI owned 95% of this space. The speed of this change is almost shocking. According to usage data tracked by researcher firms, Claude users are significantly more engaged than ChatGPT users. Claude subscribers use the service 40% more frequently, and they stay longer per session. That's the holy grail of software, active, engaged users who keep coming back. ChatGPT users were treating it like a novelty. Claude users were treating it like a tool they actually depend on. Here's where it gets interesting. The user demographics are different too. ChatGPT captured casual users, general audiences, students experimenting. Claude is pulling in the professionals, the people who are building businesses, doing research, running actual operations. Paying customers, the real money in subscription software, are overwhelmingly preferring Claude. The average Claude subscriber is paying for a tool they use daily in their work. The average ChatGPT user is paying out of habit. And there's one more thing happening. Google's been investing heavily in Anthropic. Amazon announced a $4 billion investment in the company. Big tech is betting on Claude because they see what the data shows. This is becoming the AI assistant that actually gets used. That kind of institutional confidence isn't an accident. So what does this actually mean for the AI industry? It means the market is maturing. In the early days, having the first product mattered. Being first gave you hype, media coverage, and network effects. But as AI assistants have become essential tools, the market is sorting itself by quality, not novelty. This is terrifying for OpenAI, or at least it should be. They built ChatGPT as a research demonstration that accidentally became a business. They weren't focused on being the best product, they were focused on proving the technology worked. Anthropic, meanwhile, was built from day one to be a company that makes the best AI, different DNA, different priorities, different results. But here's the deeper implication. This proves that being an AI researcher doesn't automatically mean you can dominate the market. Anthropic has better AI researchers than OpenAI in some dimensions, sure. But that's not why they are winning. They are winning because they focused obsessively on what users actually needed instead of what would make headlines. This matters for the entire tech industry because it's setting a precedent. In the age of AI, product excellence matters more than hype. This changes power away from the PR departments and toward the engineering teams. Companies that build tools people genuinely need, instead of tools that look impressive in demos, are going to win. And for everyone building AI products right now, that's a wake-up call. Get serious about usability, honesty, and actual value, or get left behind. If you haven't tried Claude yet, here's how to get started. Head to Claude.ai, that's the web interface. Sign up with an email address. The basic version is free, which means you can test it out without spending anything. Ask it a question. Try one of those workflows I mentioned. Paste a long document. Ask it to analyze something complex. See how it handles the long context. If you want to compare directly with ChatGPT, ask them both the exact same question and pay attention to how they explain their reasoning. With Claude, you'll see step-by-step thinking. You'll understand the logic. With ChatGPT, You might get the right answer but less clarity on how it arrived there. The paid Claude Pro plan runs $20 a month, same as ChatGPT's premium tier. You get higher usage limits, faster responses, and access to the latest Claude model. For professionals and people doing serious work, the Pro plan is worth it because you're not hitting usage caps mid-project. Here's my recommendation: try the free version first. Spend a week using Claude instead of ChatGPT for your actual work. See if it feels better. See if you trust it more. See if you're more productive. Then decide if the $20 subscription makes sense for you. The data suggests you probably will. Users who make the switch rarely switch back. Here's what this change in the market tells us: the era of first-mover dominance in AI assistance is over, and that should genuinely excite you. Competition drives innovation. When ChatGPT was unchallenged, the improvements slowed. Now that Claude is pushing hard, both companies are racing to build better systems. You're the winner because you get to choose between two genuinely excellent tools. The deeper story here is about how markets actually work. OpenAI had the best brand, the most famous product, and the most hype. But Anthropic had something harder to copy. They had a vision of what good AI actually looked like. They focused on reasoning, on honesty, on building something people would depend on. And in the real world, that beats hype every single time. For everyone using AI assistance in your work right now, you've got power. You can choose the tool that works better for you. Don't feel locked into ChatGPT just because it was first. Try Claude, see what you're missing. The fact that we're even having this conversation, that Claude is winning against the most famous AI company in the world, that's a sign of a healthy market. What this means for you: pay attention to what actually works, not what's most famous. Make your decisions. And if you've been thinking about upgrading to a paid AI plan, test both before you decide which one deserves your $20. Right now, based on the data, Claude's earning it.